Welcome back to the Wild Thoughts Pod. I'm your co-host, Afi.
And I'm your co-host, Kat.
And as you can see, we've got two special guests here. Amanda and Elliot. Give it up in your living room. Yes. We're so excited. Today's topic, as you guys probably guessed from the questions, are about dating your best friend. So we're going to get the whole story and all the spiel and all the good questions out of them. But before we do that, of course, we've got the... am I doing hot seat questions? Before we do that, we're doing hot seat questions, which we do with all our guests to get to know them a bit, you know. It's
get
like
the nerves out too.
Exactly. It's an icebreaker. They're the same questions for both of you guys.
Let's do it.
So our first question is... Oh, sorry. What is your favorite thing to do to feel relaxed?
Ooh, okay. For me, it's going on the swing and listening to music.
Oh, yes.
I just like
backyard
zen out.
Yeah.
I could do that for hours.
Oh,
yeah. And I literally would be like in the rain or snow, just like.
Is it like an actual like a plastic swing, or is it attached to a tree?
I had a plastic swing growing up, and then we got an adult swing. So we were like, okay, so she's a teenager and she's still doing this, so she needs an update. So
yeah, but you have a nice backyard. Like it's really nicely set up. Your mom did it. Well, you guys did a good job.
Yeah.
But your mom too.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you, Elliot?
Mine's not really healthy. I think I just order pizza. Every time there's like a small celebration, or I just like want to relax, I just order some pizza.
I love that.
Comfort
I feel that.
Yeah,
comfort food. Oh no, cooking. I love cooking. Actually,
Elliot
like
loves to cook.
I'll put music and like I'll just listen to it and I'll just cook.
What do you like to cook?
Honestly, it's anything.
To feel relaxed.
It's just like
no,
anything
it's
that's
the
in the
same
fridge.
thing. It's eggs.
She's like,
it's eggs, onions, some veggies.
Oh, yeah.
We're already testing a couple right now.
Any types of meats, like it's just like all mixed together.
Whatever's in the fridge.
Yeah, but it like happens at like weird hours of the day. Like it'll just be 11 o'clock at night, and I'll just be like starting to cook.
Do you ever pretend like you're doing like a cooking tutorial? I do that.
That's why I told him
And
he
you're
has to start his own show.
It's
Like,
fun. You
I
should.
couldn't. It's too messy. Every cooking tutorial is so nice. My kitchen's a complete mess
Yeah.
at the end.
People might enjoy that. They'll relate to it. It's okay. Okay, we love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Next question. If there was one food you could eat for the rest of your life, what would it be? Amanda, go.
Hard question. Avocados?
Oh, okay.
I don't know, I feel very basic.
Just like the raw avocado.
No, well, actually,
Like
you
on
ever said-
toast?
I don't know, because it's like you could have it like as
With
like
anything.
a meal, it's like a snack. I don't know, you could like do
That's
different
like a
things
healthy,
with it. I don't know.
like,
And it's healthy.
You could survive with just
It's
avocados.
filling.
Yeah. True.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I want to know.
I literally thought about that.
That's eggs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's me.
Comfort.
Potatoes and eggs.
Potatoes.
What
and
about
eggs.
you, Kathy? What about you?
I think we've answered this. I feel like it's like either a risotto or a pasta.
Oh.
Pasta.
Yours is so
Yeah, like
fancy
actual
and
meal. I was
elevated.
like,
It's just
an
like-
avocado.
Avocado,
And then you tie
one
it in
egg,
hospital,
just
like-
like
It's okay. You got the avocados. You got the eggs.
Yeah.
A whole
Yeah,
ass
yeah,
meal
yeah.
right there. I love that. Okay. What is your next travel destination and why? Why'd you
Oh,
pick
okay.
that?
Yeah,
Okay,
we've
so
been
we're-
talking
yeah.
about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So obviously COVID happened, so
Yeah.
we haven't done like a trip just us two.
Yeah.
Besides like Quebec City, but that's not like a big trip.
Yeah.
So at first we're like, okay, I used to work at a Japanese video game studio, and we're like, one day we have to go to Japan because he went to Japan
Yeah.
with our school, and I didn't go, and I'm just like hearing all these amazing
Yeah.
stories. So I'm like, I have to go one day. But now recently I started working for a studio that has a studio based in London, and now I've been really wanting to go back to the UK, even though I went in high school, went on a whole UK trip, which was so nice, but I feel like I know that he would love it so much.
Yeah,
So
and I
we're
think it's
thinking
cool
of that.
because like once like you're in Europe and these like you
Yeah,
can
it's
visit
super
a lot of like of the
Yes.
surrounding countries too. I
Yeah.
think that'd be like really cool as well.
Yeah, so we're thinking like maybe like a Scotland, Ireland,
Oh,
like kind of basically
I
what
must
we
say,
did already.
yeah.
Just
We
take
spoke a
bus
little
each
bit
other.
about it last
last
episode.
Oh, yeah.
Brought back somewhere. But a lot of people have been going to Europe on vacation.
Everyone has been going
Is it cheap
to
or something?
either Italy or to France.
Yes.
Those are the two
That
travel
is not
destinations.
cheap.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
I think it's just probably because
It
COVID's
was
getting
also
better.
it was also
so-
during like Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
So that a lot
Oh,
of
okay.
influencers were going, but like that's
True.
expensive that week.
Yeah,
Like,
because I just saw my own followers, like personal people that I know going. I was like, but like Elliot said, what's cool is that you could go to like different places. Because
super
once you're in
easy.
Europe, it's like you take the train or you like do this.
Yeah.
It's easy. Nice.
Was that the same answer for you?
Yeah, because we had
We
talked
agreed
about
on
it
this?
anyway.
Yeah.
Basically depends on which studio you're working at.
Yeah.
I get these ideas in my head. I'm like, oh wow, it's so nice there. I'm talking to these cool people that
Yeah.
want to go there.
Yeah.
But Japan's really cool too. Like our
Yeah.
friends went.
Yeah.
I was so jealous.
my
I was like,
brother's
yeah.
obsessed with Japan
Yeah.
because also
Yeah.
like we do karate and stuff, and it's
Oh, okay,
from
yeah.
Japan, obviously. So like every time they go
Yeah,
there, they're
it's so cool.
amazed.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. Like when I went there, I wasn't like, I don't know, like I know that like Japan has been like really like, I don't know, like in American culture, a lot of people are like really looking
Yeah.
into it,
Yeah.
and like the fashion and everything's been like, but like I never like looked into it. But then when I went, I was just like,
Yeah.
Wow.
it's beautiful. I love this so much.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to go back.
Yeah, and I'm just like
Gotta
jealous.
take you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, now I want to just travel. Let's
I know.
just book
Yeah.
a,
Let's
book a
just
flight
book it right
somewhere. Episode on in a different country.
in the sky.
Yeah.
Like,
Our last final question, probably the most important.
oh fuck.
What are your,
okay.
what are your zodiac signs?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm a Taurus.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I heard like
You're like,
from her.
That was coming from me.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, yeah,
It's, I know a lot of Tauruses.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's why I had like
Yeah.
an opinion about it.
Yeah.
Change your experience. Sorry, mom.
Sorry, mom. Yeah, she's a Taurus.
No, we love Kathy's mom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me it's a Cancer.
Cancer,
Oh.
toxic.
Oh my God, they were both-
Nice. Oh shit.
They were both of my just like.
Oh my god.
But no, you
We're
guys
getting
are
trash
good
talk.
people. And
Yeah.
Is there anything about like zodiac signs being like compatible with each other?
Yes,
'Cause
actually,
Oh.
There's
you're
a whole
an earth sign and a water sign, so they're both
Oh,
compatible.
that makes
sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
But like, yeah.
Okay.
Elliot's laughing. But
Yeah.
like, it's fine. We don't.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's fun to
It's
look
not that
into.
serious.
Exactly. But like, there are a lot of like interesting things. There's a whole ass chart, and you, even when you read about your stuff, you're like, oh wow,
Yeah,
I
look
really
up your
like.
birth charts.
Yes,
That's
she showed it to me.
interesting.
Yeah, it's like my moon rising.
Yeah.
my-
Yeah, I was
what
like,
was
it's
it?
so
It's just
interesting.
interesting to read about.
Yeah,
Honestly.
exactly.
Like, even
And,
if
like-
you don't believe in it.
People just say like, yeah, you are a Cancer in my life.
Yeah.
It's very different to like to how
Wow.
people react.
But like a lot of things, like some signs are stereotyped. But I have friends from that sign. I'm like, oh, well,
Yeah.
they're not like evil or anything, so I don't see it.
Which,
They're not,
which
but-
are the evil signs?
It's not that they're evil. It's
They
just
have
like
a bad
they're
reputation.
Because water signs, because they're very emotional, people just assume they're manipulative. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. No.
But
okay.
She's like,
She's like, okay.
No.
You're just thinking about
Yeah.
that the whole episode. But I think the most fun is just looking up your own sign and
Yeah,
reading into
for
it
sure.
because you get to see like what describes you, and sometimes you don't know how to describe yourself. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
you guys should do that. But those were our questions.
Yeah.
Now moving on to the question of the
now
week.
we're going to do the question of the week. So we asked
Wow.
2 questions on our stories. So the first question was, should you be friends before you start to date? And 88% of people said yes.
that's good.
Yeah,
okay,
that's good.
cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was more of a mixed like reaction, but that's
But
really
to be honest, I was expecting a mixed reaction
Yeah.
too, but my boyfriend said no, and I was like, okay.
okay.
I was like, okay. Nick. Okay, second question. Is it a good idea for 2 best friends to start dating? And 76% of people said yes.
Okay.
That's a pretty, like, the odds are good.
Yeah.
People believe in it,
People are
so.
like, yeah. We love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it makes sense. What
Yeah.
would your answer be to that?
I think you need to be friends before you start dating.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Best friends, I don't know. I feel like you need to be in the situation to
And then
know.
no. Yeah.
You know, like outside people can't tell you what to do. Like
Yeah.
you need to
Yeah.
know.
I think it like evolves like naturally too.
Yeah.
Like when you're like definitely being friends like helps,
Yeah.
right? Because like when you don't know someone else, like I don't know, it's kind of hard to figure all that out, and then
Yeah.
you have like all that anxiousness of what they're thinking. So like when you already know them, it helps.
Exactly.
And when you're best friends, I think you can pretty much tell like who like if it's like meant to evolve like a further step, or it's just like a mutual like no we're just best friends
Yeah.
and that's how
Yeah,
it is,
exactly.
You know?
That's
Well,
true.
it's not always so simple for
Yeah.
everyone.
Well, not
you know?
everyone.
Like,
We're gonna get into the
Obviously.
questions.
Exactly.
Don't you worry, okay?
So let's go into it. So we're gonna start a bit with our backstory first. So
Yes.
first, like, how did you meet? Like, how did you become friends first?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we met in college.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we met at Dawson College in our 3D animation program.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Animation, love.
Yes.
That's how you're gonna be. Whoever's in that class, look out.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like
and
it's,
literally on the first day, I think our head of our program said, you know, you guys shouldn't date each other, you know, let's
Are
just
you
keep...
serious?
Well, I think it just came from a point that like our program like is really much you don't mix with other classes. Like
Yeah.
you're together in the same class for 3 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
So I think
it's a
for them it's
technical
just
program.
like, oh man, they don't want to deal with
And it's
drama.
small.
No
Is
drama.
it small?
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Well,
pretty small.
it's
It's
like-
a small class.
It's everyone's very tight knit, so it's like
You
I
start
think
with,
we
like-
start with 50, but then
Yeah.
I think eventually like some people start dropping. Slowly we come like maybe closer to like
I'd say like 25. Like by the
Oh.
end.
maybe
Oh.
that's
around,
small.
50
Yeah,
is
25
small,
like
The point is that
30.
everyone knows each other
other.
It's a very
pretty well.
specific
And
program.
you do
Yeah.
3 years together, like
So you
everyone,
get to
like,
know each other a lot.
and you're at school like all the time, so
Time.
everyone like knows each other by heart. Like you become best friends.
Yeah,
there
like
with
especially in
anyone.
college, like
So-
you're coming out of high school. No, but like
Yeah.
you know, you're like trying to discovering yourself, making friends, and then being with like the same people all the time
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and you like this.
we
like
work
not like
we
the
work
same
in a
people.
lab that's like specific just to our program, so we're always coming back,
Exactly.
and we have our own spot. So it's like basically our little zone in the school that's meant
Okay.
just for us.
Yeah.
And we call it kind of like it's like our lounge, but it's like our
Yeah.
meant for work. But our teachers are like it's like a work zone, but really people are having like pizza nights and playing video games at night. So
Very
That's
well.
fun
That's
though.
nice.
But we work hard too. So.
yeah, we work hard.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys had a fun like college experience.
So yeah, we were
Good.
originally in 2 different groups. I remember, so I didn't
Yeah,
know
the first
Elliot
semester.
right off the
Yeah.
bat. But since we both like would work after school, we'd stay late, and I remember
Oh
being
my god, that's such a romance book.
so
Sorry.
cute. No, I
But
cute.
I stay late.
yeah. So it's not. I don't know.
Pizza
So
party.
first of all, we're kind of dorky people in this program.
Yeah.
So I'm working late on an animation project. This is the first time in my life I ever stay like at school till like 10 p.m. I'm like, this is so
Oh my
weird,
God,
but this
yeah.
became the norm like a
Yeah.
few years later. And Elliot's like on the other side of the room. He just like rolls up to me on like a little like wheelie chair, and he has like some reason there's all this weird like nerdy merch around.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So he's wearing a Sonic like Sonic the
That's
Hedgehog
very dumb.
hat. And he's like, just comes up and he's like, what are you doing? What are you working on? Can I see your work? And I'm, just, like, I'm all like shy and stuff. I'm like, here it is.
with his Sonic
He's
hat,
like, oh my god, it's so good. I'm just like, okay.
giving you all the compliments.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's how everyone was kind of like checking each other out the first week. You're like, who's good? Who's
Like
not?
competitiveness.
Yeah.
Well, I think Elliot did it in just a genuine like, let's be
Interest.
friends
Yeah.
kind of way. But some people were kind of, I think like,
Schemy.
well, myself
watching
included.
it
I was just like
I would be the same,
sussing
be like,
people out.
Yeah,
I'm like,
because
Who's
okay.
the best one?
Because it's like when
Well,
you're
it's
good at
intimidating.
Yeah.
you're all good at a similar thing, and
Yeah.
you're like let's say like you didn't go to like VMC wasn't really
Yeah.
an art school, so when you really good in art, you stand out. But then
Yeah.
when you're in a program where everyone's an artist, it's like
You
oh,
realize
shit.
you're
Yeah, literally.
Well, you realize there's other people like you that are just as
Exactly.
good.
It's a nice feeling, but also weird because suddenly I'm like, oh, I suck. I gotta get better.
She was like one of the like better ones, but like that was good in like everything. Like
Not
each
in the
like
beginning.
new
I'll
little
say
thing.
that.
No,
Yeah.
it's true. Like each
Y'all are
little thing
both
she picked
talented.
up was
Okay.
just like really good.
Amanda actually designed our logo. for
Yes,
the
this is
podcast,
her.
Thank
Woo!
you.
Beautiful
The artist,
work.
honestly.
The
Thank
beautiful
God.
faces.
Oh
so
my God,
so
stop.
easy.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Okay,
So that's how we
that was
met.
the first time
Yeah.
you guys met.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
like,
God.
And I actually remember that. Do you remember that actual?
Like,
No,
first
she
unit?
told me afterwards. I couldn't.
You
like,
don't remember,
Well, I
Elliot?
couldn't
Because he was doing that with
pinpoint
every
one
single person.
moment.
He was like, hey, hey,
Yeah,
hey.
yeah. Just trying to talk.
Just trying to go through
Yeah.
food.
Or I'm just like in my corner doing my own thing.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But yeah.
Okay,
That's
that's
nice.
cute.
Okay, so then from that point, like, how long were you friends before you started like developing
Okay,
feelings?
I think it like
A while.
because Amanda was like friends with some of our other friends, so I think like we started hanging out because obviously like close in a group, but like everyone kind of had their own cliques, right?
Yeah.
So you'd like be friends with some people, so you go out and you invite, and then Amanda was invited, so then it just became regular that like we became a group with Amanda.
Yeah.
But and then I say we like became like close friends like through like the end of first semester and like second year.
Yeah,
a lot.
definitely.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, that's when we actually like started hanging out like outside of school, like going to movies and stuff, and like
in a group or just in.
Well,
like,
actually,
together?
the first time I think we did something one-on-one was like Ellie likes to organize these like movie days where we like pay to go in to see one movie, but then we actually planned to see like 3 movies back to back.
I love that.
It's
Yeah.
super
We love it.
organized.
So I only did it once.
like you sneak into the other.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can.
Everyone
I don't know if you can still do that now with like. I
No,
feel like
not
they check.
COVID.
I feel like they check seating
I went to
and
the
stuff.
movies yesterday and no one was stationed at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
we don't
they
do it
can-
now. But
So
Yeah.
the first time I ever did it was with him, and I think like people were like not into it that time. I think I was
They
the
were
only.
like, oh, you're
They were
doing
like,
bad
ah,
things.
whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't know, but then I show up and I'm like, it's just me and Elliot. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
okay, that's cute because you were expecting other people to be there, but it
Yeah.
just,
Did
the
you know?
universe just.
Oh, I just like we invited. No, I texted everyone like, oh,
Yeah,
cancel
that's-
this. It's all
Don't
canceled.
Yeah.
How too bad? No.
Yeah, and then I think someone joined us like for like the second or third movie, but then by the
Yeah.
end it was still just us.
It
Like,
was
so
still us,
we
yeah.
spent literally the entire day watching
nice.
3 movies
Was
together.
that the time we went to grab food afterwards?
And
as
yeah,
well?
then
Oh, yeah.
right after was the first time I ever went to his dad's restaurant on Peel.
yes.
And
You
that
told me.
I was
It's
telling
a popular
Kathy about it,
restaurant.
yeah.
So
So-
yeah, that kind of almost felt like a little date too, because we were just having dinner in the front of the restaurant, and everyone's being all like cutesy because they're like they see Elliot with a girl and they're like giving us like
Drinks on the
yeah,
house.
exactly, like they're like teasing him. I was like, no.
Oh my god.
And then after that we had a party to go to, like one of our friends' parties, so we spent
That's
the
a
whole
big
day
day.
together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Absolutely.
good. Yeah, because you got to know it was like an unplanned date in a
Yeah.
way.
Exactly, but
Yeah.
I feel like after that I felt a lot closer to you too.
Yeah.
Like, it was during our Christmas break, and I remember being like bummed out that you were leaving for vacation
Oh, yeah.
during the
Aw.
Christmas break. I'm like,
Was
I'm
that-
hanging out with you
was that in
anymore.
second
that's
year?
the feeling.
Yeah, it's the second year. And then after that Christmas break was another semester, and we ended up sitting. We were in different groups again, but we sat at the same computer. So that means that we had to fight for the spot
my God.
after
Oh, yeah.
school. And I feel like
Oh, so it's not each your own computer technically.
only in third year you have your own lab for third years, but
Yeah.
when you're in second, first year, it's like you rotate with like.
And is
another
it like
group.
2 hours each type of thing? 3 hours? Like how does
Well,
it
it's
work?
like,
Or-
Like, there's
one
your-
person will have the class, and then
You
like
leave.
after your class is done, the other group has the
Has
class.
the
So,
class.
So you're
so
not in
they
the
take the
But
same
after
computer.
hours, it's like anyone
Yeah.
could
Oh,
go.
that's
Yeah.
so funny that you guys ended up like having the same.
So I
Yeah.
sat there,
It was
and then
fake.
Elliot.
No.
So we were at that point like one of the people who stayed the most after school. Like it's kind of like a little group that like the night
Yeah.
school group, and we just get like until fights. Be like, oh, you're on my computer. All my files are on that, and I had to like take my like
Transfer them out.
hard drive and take them, or he had to do this. I think
Yeah.
I think I kind of gave it to him because he started installing his own personal
Oh.
like
Oh my
stuff
God.
around it. Like he's
Yeah.
like territorial.
I would like
Like-
put decorations. Like I had this like made like chandelier, which is just a bunch of shit like taped up.
Yeah,
with
like a
duct
Three
tape
Amigos
paint.
sombreros.
Oh my
God.
You were like really marking your
Yeah.
Yeah,
territory.
It was
people
pretty
felt very
bad.
comfortable to put whatever they wanted in these.
Yeah,
boxes.
especially since you're such a small group.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes
It's like
sense.
all the posters
Yeah.
they want, all
Yeah.
It
their
was quite the
weird
fire
stuff.
hazard,
That's so
really.
Exactly.
Oh my
So I
God.
just remember like having all this weird shit over my head.
And it didn't feel like you're
Yeah.
like, wow, this
I was
is
like,
not
I should probably be the one to leave. So I think at night, I think I eventually let you sit there. But
I think
during
you sat next to me.
Okay, yeah, maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
yeah, so I feel like that's the semester that we really started to like
Get
get closer. And
Yeah.
we'd
Yeah.
message each other and then like meet up for like lunch and
Yeah.
stuff. And
Cute.
I feel like that first little outing sparked it. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like, what would you say like attracted you guys to
And what
each other? Like,
triggered
why
it?
was it you and him and
Yeah.
not like someone else? But now I realize it's more like circumstances
Yeah.
too. Like you got to know him through that, and like
Yeah.
almost like since you guys were the only ones that like showed up to that in a way, it showed like you were both. Not your intentions, but you were both down to like.
yeah,
do this
I
thing.
remember when you messaged
Yeah.
me, I was babysitting. I was like, oh God, please, I need to do something tomorrow night. I am so bored. Like,
Yeah.
Well, also, I'd have to say, like, I remember this specific moment where one of my friends and I, like, we were in the lab, and she brought up the conversation, like, because we were in second year by then.
Yeah.
She's like, who have you, like, weirdly found, like,
I was gonna
more
ask that.
interest in?
Yeah.
Like
This
you know, like,
always
let's say, like,
happens
someone
again.
that you
Yeah.
did, like, you know these people for so long, and then it's just like, do you find anyone like more interesting or like
attractive
like but that you didn't expect at the beginning? And so I just thought about it, and for some reason like I was just like, well, I guess kind of Amanda, and I think that
that started
it's like a
that's
scene.
what happened with our group too.
Yeah,
100%. You play those like
once you admit it to yourself, it's like,
oh,
it's out
or you
there.
start thinking about them, and you're like, oh shit. Because I was gonna ask you, like, did you or like both of you guys, each other, did you before you started dating, like when you first met each other, were you like, oh, like did you ever like see them as like really attractive, or did you ever think about like this going somewhere just randomly at the beginning?
I think I would say first impression. No, not really.
Because you don't know each other either.
I really saw him as my friend because like we were friends in a group, and he was just kind of like this really funny, quirky guy that was nice to everybody.
Yeah.
Like
I think you were like also like more shy, so sometimes it was like more in like, I guess kind of like not like the background, but like some of our friends were like louder and stuff, so and you'd obviously hang out with us, but it's like more shy and reserved to yourself, you know. So
I do remember there was a certain point where every time you would walk in, I would like look up and be like, is he gonna come over and talk to me, like that? Like when I started having those thoughts, I feel like that's when I knew.
Okay, let me fix my hair.
Let me or like put more effort into my outfits.
Yeah, that's when it all goes down. And you're like, oh shit.
I was like, when that started happening, I feel like that was it was a very slow transition to that, but it happened, and I was like, okay.
But also, okay, not to like this kind of out of the topic, but like I find women and men in general, they have very different, like how they catch feelings. So men is like physical, I feel like at the beginning, and then women is more like you have to get to know them, and that's when the feelings
for
start.
sure. That's in my case definitely. Like,
but
I have to know someone.
I'm not saying guys don't know them, but I feel like they could picture dating you before they know you. If that makes like
people say that men
agree?
catch feelings quicker, but then it takes them longer to actually like fall in love.
That's what I mean. Like on the first go, that's what I meant.
Yeah. So like definitely like, well, I think like for me it was just like we started like once like we like that kind of seed, I was like, oh yeah, like kind of mad. It was like starting to think about it more, and then like okay, like starting to hang out, but also like at that point we were hanging out more, so we were actually becoming like quite good friends and texting a lot. And for me, I think it was also like I hadn't like dated anyone like before. So like at the same time, it was kind of like that also that moment like with me where I was like, okay, you know, I kind of want to, you know, actually like put myself out there and try to at the same time, but like I didn't want like I was like I really wanted to make that difference. Like, okay, am I like, is this like sudden because I'm trying to put myself out there and I just want to like find someone? Or is it because of the person itself? Because also I really didn't want those things to be like crossed, and like because then if it doesn't work out, it was just like, oh, I just want to be like, I feel like lonely and stuff. Like that wouldn't be fair. And I didn't want to ruin also the friendship with that, you know. So it's like,
I think what also brought us closer was we decided to also take a year off from our program at the same time. So when I found out that he was taking a year off, and also a few other people as well, it didn't even occur to me that was an option, but I personally didn't feel ready to do my final year. I think doing that made us closer, because then we were kind of like the people like the outsiders of the program again.
You could relate to each other too on like a different.
And I remember during that year, like Elliott was doing a bunch of stuff. He was going on. I saw that he had a Tinder app, and I was like, "What's this?"
You're like, "What's this?"
And then I was like, "Okay, I guess he's not into me if he's going on
that
Tinder
app." And then you're just playing hard to get.
So we still continue to be super super close during that year, and just hanging out. And I feel like. You tried to hide that, like that you were.
Well, also it didn't like nothing happened from it. Like I think I had like 5 likes, and it was all friends from high school that were like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
It doesn't matter.
It wasn't really
dating apps.
But for me, it was just like that summer we worked like because we were working on our films, and we were always at the lab. And like I knew she would like go grab lunch like always at the swings. There's like a park and it's like has small swings. So I'd always
love my swings.
So I'd always like text her like, oh, I want to grab lunch and stuff, but like you know.
And then a few times I wouldn't see it, and then he's like, oh, I'm at the park. Where are you at? And I'm like,
Amanda is like. Amanda has a phone, but it's as if she didn't. Okay?
It's really
but it is actually admire it because I feel like
don't admire it. It's the most frustrating thing
every
ever.
other human is like, I hate you.
She will like text me. I literally call her 2 seconds after. She doesn't answer.
I just
for
put
like
it down and walk away. Exactly. She's my secretary.
It's so funny because like her mom will call Elliot to reach her.
Oh my
At this
God.
point, it's bad.
And I call her twin to reach her. Like,
Yeah.
no one calls Amanda.
Yeah, me too.
anymore.
When I always text Sarah to like hang out, but I never actually text her.
Okay.
No, but in a way, like it doesn't bother me because like I know you, like I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's,
but other
like,
people are like, how
what-
will
but,
I reach
like, maybe
you?
when they first meet you, they're like,
Coming here, she was just like, oh, I can't find my phone. I was like,
Like,
what
why
does it
do you-
matter? You don't use it ever.
It's probably
It's
dead anyway.
half the
Yeah.
time.
I once left it in your car for like 2 weeks.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like,
Oh my
where's
God.
my
It's
phone?
on the side. I didn't realize.
I probably just lost in the streets at that
Yeah,
point.
but I feel, but why I say I admire it in a way because everyone's so attached to their phones that it's almost so the fact that you don't have that attachment is kind of nice, you know.
I feel like I still go like on like my laptop
Yeah.
or iPad too, so it doesn't
Yeah.
mean like I'm like
No, true.
completely
Yeah.
like I'm
Out
still
of it.
checking the apps and everything. It
We'll just
maybe-
say I admire.
Okay,
it.
I'll take it.
but still answer your phone.
Yeah, I know. So and then we did start text. I think I started using my phone way more because of this guy.
Aw.
I
would-
need
yeah.
to be
Yeah.
on
I
alert,
would
yeah.
I would text her
Yeah.
like because I'd leave the lab very late at night, like 10, 11-ish.
Yeah.
And I'd always like text her on my way back home. So we'd
Yeah.
always like chat like pretty much
Yeah.
every night.
That was
Yeah.
like the time.
And then when he
like,
wouldn't
yeah.
send me a message, I'd be like, what
doing?
up
Yeah.
with that? I'd be like,
Yeah.
excuse
Yeah.
me.
11.
Yeah.
Like I just expect it.
Yeah, I think
feel
that's
like-
normal.
Yeah.
Like, it
Yeah.
happens.
And it's like we were just friends. I still was like, if you didn't message me, I was like,
So Amanda was feeling this where she had like this expectation of you texting her. Did you
Yeah.
ever feel that like if Amanda wouldn't answer you or like did you ever feel like, oh, why isn't she answering me? Because I don't know if like a lot
I
of
feel
guys
like-
feel that. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
so.
Well, I
Yeah,
think so
okay.
because I'm like really like I'm still like really like mostly like emotionally attached to people.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel bad when people don't answer.
Yeah.
And also like for me with text, it was also something I had to learn. Like especially when people like see your messages.
Yeah.
Or you like you know when you see like the green icon on Facebook like
Yeah.
on Messenger.
Yeah.
And
I turn that
and
off.
then they don't.
Oh,
Yeah. but then-
you're like
but
active.
the thing is that thing is on when like your phone is closed, so you just assume,
Yeah,
or
true.
like when they're not on the app, so you just assume that why they didn't answer is like you assume all these bad
Yeah.
things, like oh they
Yeah,
don't
you
want
start
to, or
thinking,
maybe I said something wrong, so like
Yeah.
and your message could be as simple like hey how's it going? You're like oh maybe I should have phrased it differently.
Yeah.
So that was like really something that I think prior to like with Amanda texting her, I tried to like work on like not like focusing too much on because like you assume so many bad things and it's just as simple as like I went to sleep, I passed
Yeah.
out early.
Like it's not
And my-
personal.
my phone is
I
like
would do that
upstairs
so
and I'm
many times.
downstairs, you know, it's
Exactly.
just you know, like you see the green icons and stuff
Yeah.
and you get like worried about like why that person's not
Fuck
answering.
you,
And
Facebook.
yeah, like
Yeah,
you
no.
assume all these things or the message is seen as something, you
Yeah.
assume like all these bad things or did
Yeah.
I say something wrong? And it's just as simple as like, oh like I had to do something, I left my phone upstairs, right? So like before Amanda, I think I had more anxiousness about that when I messaged people.
Yeah.
And I tried to like get better at that, not worry too much,
Yeah.
like really like relax. So I think I was still okay at that point because I know like she was still like I guess shy, so you wouldn't text me
Yeah.
as like you
Yeah.
wouldn't like
He was-
start the
he was the one
conversation
who
as much.
would
I was
come
really
more.
me
Yeah.
like just like checking
Like, I
up.
think
But then
you
we
broke
would
me
talk.
out of my shell, and
Yeah.
then we'd have like
Yeah.
these long like conversations, and I'd be like, "I'm so funny. I'm thinking of all these like things on the spot. Like I feel like I have some bit
You
of a
are
confidence
funny.
boost. Like
Yeah.
I'm not usually like that, but like
Oh, yeah.
I feel like because we would just like go on for like hours.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
That's the best.
yeah.
Social media is the worst though because that's what I was saying. I feel like those green like did they know this was
Yeah.
gonna happen? In a way I feel like they did.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I still,
Yeah, they were,
I
like-
think now I put like
You can turn
hidden.
it off.
But
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I don't want like randos to know like.
But
when
it,
I'm,
Yeah.
it but like you like how Elliot like for example if you see someone on like why aren't they
Yeah.
answering my text? Why aren't they doing this?
But even, yeah, sometimes you just don't feel like answering
Exactly.
that moment. Then you don't want the other person to start
Yeah.
overthinking. Like,
But
And some
also
people
sometimes
just-
you're not
Yeah.
actually active on the app. It just says you
Yeah.
are. Or like let's say like
it
you're-
messes with your mind.
yeah, and like Instagram, you know how
Yeah.
you could see before who liked your let's say your crush like post and he liked this girl's post and you're
Yeah.
like, oh what the fuck? Like,
Some people
Of
are just
course
like,
you would notice that. Like,
yeah. And some people are just like terrible at answering messages.
Yeah.
It's just like not their thing. So you
Exactly.
just can't take it like too personally.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
Don't take things personally at all. I feel like that's what we need to learn.
Yeah.
yeah.
So what would you say, like, do you think that night that you went to the movies or whatever the day, do you think that was like the trigger for you both to start seeing
I think,
each other in a romantic light?
I think
like,
a little bit because when he came back on the trip, like the night after he was leaving on a trip, and then when he came back, I remember like going to your house and like giving you like the biggest hug, being like, I missed you so much. Like I feel like I didn't have that
like after
before.
he came back.
Yeah, so like it was like maybe like 2-3 weeks after
Okay.
we'd gone out together, and then I saw it.
Well, I think it was like definitely like because when you hang out with a bunch of friends, like we talk to each other, but then you talk to other people, right?
Yeah.
But then it was really like the one-on-one, like keeping up the conversation. So that's when I think I started like organizing more things to like hang out one-on-one. So
Nice. Okay, so then who asked who out? Like,
Okay,
how did that happen?
You usually get to that point.
Okay, but before that, I feel like there's still like the period of like.
Oh yeah, you can continue that.
Okay,
tell us the story.
We were close friends. Okay, so let's say from that like time we went out
second year
together and like started feeling a little closer. Like a year and a half later is when we actually started dating.
Okay.
So there was a long transition between that.
That whole transition
Good
was
things
just
take time.
like so it was still me trying to figure out, okay, I want to make sure like before anything, like is it just like friends or like do I really want to, because like obviously she was great, but like I was didn't want to
know the separation.
I didn't want to jump into anything and then have it like blow up in my face, and like I didn't want to do that to her either. So we started like organizing a lot, like every weekend I'd organize little things. But like it wasn't like a date. Like I'd
never
keep
say
it
it's a
open
date.
to, like I'd be like, oh, I want to go to this. Like, do you want to come? But I wouldn't say like don't invite people or like you know. But sometimes
sometimes I would purposely invite people to be like, let me just see how it goes. Like maybe it's better. If
let's see its reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then she'd be like, oh, can I invite my sister? And I couldn't say no. I was just like, oh yeah, okay. But I wanted to spend the one-on-one time, but I didn't want to like put too much pressure on it.
But then you're always fine. I feel like you're such a people person that you love being in a group setting as well. But so you would always have a good time too. So.
But then you didn't
want the alone time.
Yeah, but
sometimes
you didn't know that.
I would always mix it up between saying, oh yeah, I'll go just me, and oh yeah, I'll bring someone else just to keep him guessing.
Yeah, exactly. Don't give him too many ideas, because then it's like, oh shit, what if we're alone too?
Exactly.
I remember one time we were going. What was the Lola Rosa? We were going to Lola Rosa, and we're literally getting out of the metro, and we bumped into her twin sister, and that's great. Like I love her too, but like I was just like, oh, she can come with us. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, damn, I was gonna spend some time. But it was a really fun night. But yeah,
that was on purpose.
So I think like for that, like we did that for a while, and then I think the biggest part, like the part where like really like accumulated all to is like we organized a trip with some of our friends that had graduated. So we went as like we were 9. We went to Cuba all together.
Ooh, nice.
So it was just like a trip, just friends. We all went. And that's like when we like really started hanging out, and like everyone kind of knew already, or they were like,
apparently people looked behind our backs. We're just like putting heart
signs.
No, just like when you're in a big friend group
and they
there's
know,
like,
everyone was just,
let's not bring up that. Churrama.
So, I feel like that's around the time where I think I started to let it show that I like to back more. Like more
at that
obviously.
point, if everyone's pointing it out, you're like, okay.
And it's annoying when like your friends are.
I thought I was so smart.
Well, I didn't know our friends were doing this. I was completely oblivious to it. No, I did not. No, my sister said like our friends would be asking her behind my back and be like, I had no idea. Like,
you guys went to but so you weren't dating when you went to Cuba.
No.
Okay, why do I feel like you guys were? Okay,
because it was like literally it was like we clearly liked each other, but we hadn't said it.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys were letting things like.
Yeah, were you both comfortable with like taking that time just to figure your feelings out?
Yeah,
or, like,
definitely.
I think you were both on the same page.
I think we're also in a weird transition mode. Like I took a year off because like I was just feeling a little lost in life and like just like not knowing what I was doing, like thinking about school, work, my future, and then Elliott was kind of going through the same thing, but also he seemed to have more of a plan, like with like his work and like projects and stuff. Like we had a final project to do in our final year. It's like our thesis film, and I feel like that taking that time, like just for yourself, like slowing things down, just makes everything, I don't know, make more sense when you look back. Like I didn't like rush into anything.
Your time.
Like I feel like I took as much time as I needed with Elliott, and I feel like that was for the best, I think. Because I know you said some of your friends were like, oh, why don't you just ask her out?
Oh yeah, some people had like terrible advice. They were just like, oh, just ask her out now. But like when you get to know that person, you know what's not gonna work. Some people are like, yeah, just go out and just kiss her and shit.
Yeah,
and
they also that would have freaked me out.
They don't, but they don't know the person, so you're like, you clearly don't know. Like some people are
like we
more
developed
shy,
a lot of trust between each other. Like I got to open up about like issues I was having and like I got kind of more like on a personal exactly like and I would like only to like my closest friends I would be like that, and like I saw Elliott as like someone that was my closest friend, but also I tried to like him, so it was just like exactly.
For me, it was just like it was so much fun to hang out because we just like really had fun and like trusted each other, so we became best friends. But for me, I felt like it was just like, you know, when you're best friends with someone, but for us, I was just like, I feel like there's something more too. Like, there's like a next level to like where like I feel like, you know, or like the relationship could go as well. So I think it was just, and during that trip, like we were really close, and like that's where like when she tells me like stories back, and I thought I was like so smart and stuff, but she was like that was because
like we know
we would so we'd like go out with friends and we were like all drinking, so it was really fun, and I thought like we were like all tipsy, and I thought like I'd walk everyone back to the room, and she held my hand. I just thought that's because like it was dark, and so I was just like holding her hand. I was like so happy, and I was just like, oh yeah. Like years later, we talk about it. Oh yeah, I think you were just so tired. Like, you know, you were like leaning on me. She's like, no, I knew what I was doing.
I
was like assertive.
That's shocking. I was like, what's
my drinking to cover that?
Exactly. Because I'm like shy and stuff. I'm like, oh, if I just did that out of nowhere without like, oh, I drank. That's why I'm acting.
You can't blame it on the sober. Like you could be like, oh, it was like, you know, I wasn't sober. So.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't really me.
So then I feel more like open was just like, you know, like we'd be like going on like a little trip in Havana, just like taking his hand, stuff like that. You know, we're just like walking in a different city, just like being closer and stuff.
Oh, that's so fun. I love it. I love that.
So I would say, okay, so we started dating pretty soon after that.
Yeah, I'd say
we came
1
back
or 2 weeks after.
Yeah, we came back. It was your birthday. I'd thrown a Saint Jean / Canada Day party, and his birthday's on Canada Day. And I kind of made it a birthday party for him as well. I feel like that was fun, just like planning a little party for him and like.
But and after that, I remember it was July 8th when I asked you out. So it's literally the day before. Like, I don't know. I'm working at the lab, and then there's this song that comes on that's called "Crush," and I swear, like it was stuck in my head.
Yeah,
it was torture. Like that song was like.
Was it David Archuleta?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
it was like another artist.
Oh no!
And it was like in my head, like I couldn't get it out. And it was just like that point where it's just like peak. Like it's like I can't do it anymore. Like I have to just ask her out. And I had like written stuff like how to say it.
That's
like,
so cute.
I feel like at that point, you know how you were trying to differentiate whether you were just trying to get into a relationship or if you genuinely liked Amanda.
No,
I feel like you knew at that point.
That point was just like knew. It was just like, okay, how do I do it? And like the fear of like, is she gonna say no? Or like, but also like it was also that thing that like. I know how sometimes she can be shy, so it's like, okay, like I really need to get the point across that like even if she, like, you know, she doesn't feel that way, like I really want to stay friends, but not the like bullshit. It's like, oh, stay friends, and I know separate. It's like no, like, you know. So it's like I was like writing like stuff like on my notes on my phone.
I know you
like,
showed me after. I was like,
do you still have them?
I think maybe.
I would take them.
Yeah.
But it's just like I had them reviewed by my friends, you know, like
they like grammar errors,
basically. And then when it came to it, like we were at the park and we were walking, and I was just like, I kept like trying, like, okay, like you have to do it.
Did you plan when you were going to do it? Or you're like, okay, whatever moment seems right?
I think it just like like after like that weekend, and he was like I was just I have to do it. So I was walking back to the metro, like from the park, and I was like kept trying to say it.
Yeah.
And I was like, every time like we'd walk, I was like see a tree, and I'd be like, okay, at that tree, like that's when I start walking. You know, like you know when you're like about to jump in a pool, and you're like, okay, 1, 2.
Because it's such a big deal too. Yeah. But that person, it's like, okay, it's a casual. But in your head, you're like building up to this moment.
But like there's a lot more pressure because you guys are best friends.
Right. Yeah, and all that preparation went completely out the window. Like it was just like I started doing my things. So I was like, oh. You know, we're really good friends, and look, I just want to tell you. And then, like, I look at her, and she's just like, she like completely, she just interrupted me. She's like, "Oh, you want to maybe go out?" She's like, "Yeah."
I think part of me stopped you because it was like so hard to watch.
It was,
I was like, oh, he's really struggling.
it was hard to
But
like
yes.
say as well.
It's okay.
It's
What
like
you did before
taking
is
that jump
romantic.
felt so like weird
Yeah,
at first. I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, and then we're like walking and we're like talking, and it felt like, okay, so now this is like a relationship. Like what?
Yeah.
That was so like weird.
It's also because it's like, okay, like we're such good friends. Okay, now what is like not
What's
what
the
is the
difference?
difference?
Exactly.
Like well, obviously like
Yeah.
there's other things, but like you know what no, but you know what I mean.
Like,
Like
from
from
right off
there's
the
a
bat,
difference between romantic, but like you were still doing the things kind of not couples would do, but people that are friends and getting to know each other. Like that's what couples do, you know.
Yeah.
I
We
think
get to know
like
each other
the
and they're
transition
friends, so.
from that like was honestly like pretty smooth compared to someone that doesn't know.
Yeah.
Someone
for
is still
you, I
figuring
feel, okay,
out.
so right after that, I got so like overwhelmed with emotion. I remember
Yeah.
calling my sisters, and like you know when you're just so confused, like you just start crying, not because you're
Yeah.
sad or
It's
happy.
overwhelming.
I just like I started crying about it. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Like I should be like
really like
happy
yeah.
and stuff. I just like I think it was the fear of like messing the friendship up
Yeah.
that caused me to feel like that. I was
Yeah.
like. Yeah, I was like, my sister, like, this is a good thing. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, it's
I
weird.
just texted my friends,
Yeah.
and then like, all our friends afterwards were like, "It's about
Yeah.
fucking
So,
time!"
yeah.
Like Jesus
I had no
Christ.
idea that our friends like wanted us to be
Saw it.
together, and
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna think it's weird. I thought
Yeah.
it was gonna make things awkward. I thought no one thought we would be a cute couple. Like I never thought.
No.
Like I don't
Everyone
know.
was
It's
just
just
like,
in
it
my
makes
head again.
sense.
You just
Yeah.
overthink
Yeah.
it.
Or it's like, oh no, like they're gonna
Yeah.
know that like I don't know. Like
I remember when you told me. I think
Yeah.
you
See, I
called me.
Yeah, I don't think I told you like about the stuff before.
No,
until it
you
happened.
didn't.
Because
I
I was
knew Elliot was
I
your
was so
friend.
confused with my emotions
Yeah,
too.
because he had thrown them a surprise party
Oh,
as Amanda
okay.
and Sarah. So
Yeah.
I had been to Elliott's once, but I never like really hung out with you guys.
Yeah.
But I knew who Elliott was.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we
And
had
then
seen
so we
each
went
other.
there. So that was cute. Like I saw all of that, and then I don't know if I saw it coming, but I remember you telling me, and then you were like not freaking out, but you're like I said, like he had asked you out, and you
Yeah.
said yes, but you were still like
Unsure.
about
Yeah.
like everything because you don't know what's gonna happen later
Yeah.
on, you know, and you have such a good friendship too. You don't
Yeah,
want to lose
and
that.
this was like also like the first relationship that I had.
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
like really
Same
unsure.
here.
And I think I was just going through a weird time where I almost was like, no, I shouldn't focus on a relationship. No, I should focus
You have
on like
school, too.
school. It's my
Yeah.
final year. I was just like
Yeah.
telling myself all these excuses at
Yeah.
the same time. I don't
Yeah.
know. I was just in a very different headspace at
Yeah.
that time. It was very confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get past the point of like the fear of being together instead of being best friends? Because like obviously there's always that fear, like if you break up, like are you still gonna be as good friends, like stuff like
Yeah.
that. So how did you get past
I feel like
that?
I realized I kind of really needed to be around him to like get through shit. Like I feel like he was kind of like my anchor at
Yeah.
some point.
rock.
He was. He became my rock. Like he became my rock. Like for what we were like. I know I keep talking about our final project, but
Yeah.
it is actually like a huge
Yeah.
stressful thing that like we actually really needed each other's support to get through.
Because you work on it for like a whole
A
year,
whole
or even
there's
longer.
so much pressure. Everyone's like, this is what's gonna make or break your career, even though it's not. But like
Yes.
everyone's like,
Yeah.
you're gonna get a job the night of, or you're not.
Yeah.
You're like,
People
yeah.
like
Always like
people
that.
in the industry come to
Yeah,
watch
exactly.
the films. Yeah. Oh,
So,
I think
like-
you showed me the film.
I showed Amanda.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like,
it's so good. It's crazy. I'm like, I feel like I'm watching a whole movie.
Yeah,
Like, it's so good.
literally.
That's crazy.
Go watch Elliot's too. But
Yeah.
I
Send
watched.
me the link.
I went to
Yeah.
where I saw
You went
Elliot's
to
because I
the
went to the
Riverside.
Yeah,
the-
exactly.
Yeah.
where they premiered all the
movies.
So,
movies. Yeah.
yeah, I
so
feel like I realized like having him like there like wasn't gonna be something that was gonna stop me. It was actually gonna like I feel like help us get
Yeah,
further,
that was the
grow,
same thing for me
flourish,
as well.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
And you feel like Amanda was like helping you get through that year, or just like things in your life.
Yeah, of course, because then you always had like, you know, like you have like friends and best friends, right? But they're in different programs.
Yeah.
They got their own schedules. They got,
Yeah.
but now like you have your best friend.
Yeah.
Like not only that, but also your girlfriend like next to you. You
Yeah.
know, so you're there, and you guys both have the same stressful things, so you know and
Yeah.
understand each other.
It was a weird, I
you
think,
know, in
for a
terms-
relationship, a weird first year because we were under so much stress.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we had to focus on ourselves, but also be there for the other person
And
too.
it's hard to maintain a relationship.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it takes
Yeah.
work.
And
Yeah.
did you ever like become worried about you guys becoming too dependent on each other? Like like, was that ever something that came up in your head? You're like, oh shit, like maybe like I'm relying on him too much, or I'm relying on her too much.
I feel like I maybe felt like that because I remember feeling like I had to always ask you so many questions, and I would distract you from your, like, he has to work too, and he has to do his own stuff, and I felt like I needed someone too, but I feel like I think we found the balance.
It was like a healthy balance. Okay, that's
But think about it, we're literally like, we're in a relationship, but we're also next to each other in a school setting.
Also studying in the same like program, doing the same project, and you guys took the break, so it was like you were working on your final project at the same time.
But I think that's also why like it was like also like a hard year, not like for us like as a relationship, but just hard stuff around the relationship. So then after that, I think it was a lot like funner for us to just hang out without that like big weight on our
since we
shoulders
graduated and like got like our careers going, I feel like
it
felt so much lighter.
You could actually do things.
Like after work, I'm like, I just want to have fun. Let's like do stuff. Like not worry about things. Like we don't have to think about all this like stress that was like weighing us down at the time. Like
I felt like it just like got better from there, and like just kept like.
Were you ever nervous, like because you guys had like you had asked her out while you guys were still in school, like that would get in the way because you were working on your project? Like did you ever were you ever like, should I ask her out after we're done or something?
Didn't her friends
like one of our friends was just like, wait till after, like don't ask her out now, but like I
just,
really
like, they said
but like they were like just because like it is such a stressful year, so they were like just. But like I just at that point like I couldn't like like I couldn't like wait anymore. I was just like honestly it was just like becoming so stressful for me to just like like try to hold that back and like anxious. It was kind of like a weight on the heart. So
imagine holding that for another year. Like
it was just like okay.
We also were like the only like we didn't know the new group as well, so we kind of like stuck together because like it's like starting a new class. You're like the new kid again.
Also, I saw online when I was doing like research for the questions that some people felt like they lost their best friend in a way. Do you think that happened? Like someone that they could turn to sometimes, like you feel like you can't say certain things
because
like you can't complain about certain things because you're
no.
I feel like
I feel like we became way too open after that. Like too much information.
Like some people are just like, oh, I can't do this like in front of my boyfriend. To like keep a man. It's just like
I don't know if that was because we were so close friends. It's like I don't know.
She like the biggest thing about dating her, she's so freaking weird, and no one knows it. She's shy, and she puts this exterior. She's like, oh, pretty. But then you get to know her, and like she's just as weird as.
Why are you exposing her?
No, but but we're so like derpy and funny. Yeah. And it's just like this whole thing that I didn't know. That definitely makes me like more attracted to her and like more of a best friend because we're just being like stupid together. And that's like the best part, honestly. So
I feel like watching you guys, I feel like you guys your friendship evolved. Not like it didn't separate where like, oh, this is my relationship, not like a friendship. It's like it's 2 in 1.
Exactly.
And you guys just kept going.
Also, some people act different in relationship than they do with their friends.
We also have a lot of like we have the same friend group from college, and I feel like when we hang out with them, like I still feel like we're just like that same friend group again. Like we're not like it's not like me, Elliot, and then a third wheel.
And
like,
you're
it's
acting
like
different.
no, I just feel like it's back to how it always was, where we're just all friends. That's good,
because you said you were nervous about it changing the dynamic.
And it didn't. I was like, I was so surprised. Our friend was like, no, I'm so happy for you. 2 dorks got together.
I think that's great. Like, when you're with friends, like, some people, like, in couples, like, they go out with friends, they really stick together, which is completely fine. But us, like, it's completely fine that we just, like, mingle with our friends and then we circle back and then it's like always the same thing.
Exactly.
But,
and I feel like because also your circumstance that you guys ended up studying together, that's how you met. But a lot of people like in their relationships keep like their friend groups separate sometimes, or like they don't share everything. But I feel like you guys are open, but also given the fact that you have the same friend group in a way, and it helps. Like,
but
it's easier.
Also like friends, like she has like you
her
and friends from like high school and other stuff. Like I got my friends, and like even when we
I love meeting your friends from your side too. Feeling like I'm part of your boy gang. One of the boys. Not really. We'll never be.
I think it's also like it gives you like a peek into who that person was before. And just like
I love hearing
inside stories.
The old Elliott stories.
Yeah. I hear some funny stories. At least I got punched a few times.
Oh my god.
We won't put this in.
That's okay.
I was wondering if you guys, before you started actually officially dating, did you ever discuss like what would happen if it didn't work out? Like, is that a discussion you had before you like?
Did we have it before?
After.
Or after? Okay,
After.
more
I think
afterwards.
after. I think at one point I was like, Elliot, like I hope no matter what happens, like we're always gonna be friends. Because I feel like we went through so much together that I feel like to lose like that friendship would be like the worst part of it.
Obviously, like you like we say that like you never know like what happens, what's gonna happen. But like I definitely feel the same. Like where we talked about, where it's like I hope I can still keep that, because like even with like Amanda, there's like I don't know. It's just like for me, I think I've always said like I think best friends are like super important, even to a level like sometimes they can be more important like to someone than like. I don't know. It's like or like, you know, even when you're dating someone, sometimes you can't open fully to that person. But for me and Amanda, I feel like it's just like completely combined, like pure best friends, and then also we're dating. So there's like these things, but it's not like I don't think like being in a relationship brought anything like new from the emotional side or think like oh we're dating now so I can tell you this. No, it was like no, we're best friends so I can tell you all these things, and like dating was other stuff as well. Exactly. But like all that like funny and like all these like stories,
they were always there.
They were like all like best friend stuff, so like that's what I value. So I hope that like even if something happened, like we still have that.
Yeah, you know? Because that's what came first.
Yeah.
So like, why would it go away after? I feel like I have a.
And that's what like got better.
And also,
too.
I think having similar friends too would be like, no, we want to keep our friend group.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to.
Yeah,
it's like having custody of the kids. Like who gets to keep them? Like no.
Did you ever think of that though? Like what would happen? Let's say like how would that impact like the friend group situation? How you guys would hang out if, let's say like.
Yeah. I hope that like. Whatever happens, that we could always still be like how we are, like and like even.
I think that's a very situational thing, though.
Yeah,
exactly. I do know some people that they're so cool in their friend group.
Exactly.
Other people are like, I don't want to see them. But
it just depends. Like, exactly.
Yeah, it's really person by person.
Yeah. For sure.
Elliot, so you ready? How is it dating a twin? Like, how does that feel?
Because you mentioned, I have a twin sister.
Yeah, Amanda has a twin sister.
They're not.
It's 2 in 1.
Yeah,
I say like, they're not identical.
Yeah, they're not identical.
I guess there's like that, but I think it's just like. I don't know. I feel like I'm the third little sister that now. Like I love them. I love like the sister, and like I think something that's like interesting is that you know when you're dating someone like and they come with all that like family like values like everyone, right? But like I get so well along with like her family and her sisters. And like sometimes like I stop myself and think like you think to your friends like, oh yeah, like but they're not that close. You know, it's just that kind of like you're in the house, you're like, oh yeah, I miss her.
Like you say hi to your siblings.
But like it's like a second family. Yeah. So that's like a huge thing that also I don't want to lose.
I'm so close to Sarah. Like, my sister is like my other half. So like obviously like having Elliot, that means like you guys are gonna have to be close to each other. It's not gonna fly if you weren't.
Like we all like really get along. And during COVID too, like during COVID for a big part, I was stuck like at home with my family for like a month or two. So we weren't like together. So when we were able to come back to Montreal, like I spent like a month, maybe even more.
I think like a month and a half.
Yeah, at like Amanda's place. So I was like kind of like living at her place for a long period of time. So
it's like you're chosen. Like I always say, my friends like they almost know me more than I would say like my distant relatives or like sometimes my siblings. Yeah, they're like your chosen family, and I feel like I mean I still love my family obviously, but it's in a different way. Like you can relate to them.
Yeah,
like,
so that was like something like important, and also like having her and like her sisters, we like all get along so
well.
So it's
so only good experiences
only
with
good
twins.
I mean, once again, I think it depends.
It depends, of course.
But for this
you are, exactly. I think it
except
depends
when they hold hands at the end of the hallway and just like look down.
I remember our English teacher in high school. He was like scared. Apparently, there's a thing where people are scared of like twins and like ginger twins. I don't fucking know.
I think they could be creepy in horror movies.
Twins get a bad rep.
Also, I was on that. Sometimes Sarah was like, "Where's Elliot? I miss Elliot." Like, like it's like he's kind of part of the familia.
Yeah.
Actually, my whole family, like, he's over so often that my Italian grandmother went from just calling him, like, oh, where's the boy, to like, when's he coming? I need him to do stuff for me. I need him to work the garden. I need him,
Oh my god.
That's like my mom. She's like, I need him to reach something.
Yeah, exactly. We're all short. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
We had like
That's
the
so cute.
tomato sauce, like
yeah, the clown.
weekend. He said he felt like Snow White in the seven.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, they're a small family. I was just like walking.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, again.
So cute.
Ow, my cheeks hurt. Oh my god, I love that.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's get into maybe like advice for other people
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
in similar situations.
Yes.
So first we have, what tips do you have for people listening right now that may have a crush on their best friend but they don't know what to do? What do you suggest?
That's hard. Okay, I feel like it depends also.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. How deep is your friendship? Like, how well do you know the person? I think, like, there's a point where you could really start to, like, read each other. Like, if it's not evident. Like, I feel like, I think you kind of almost become, like, on the same wavelength.
sync.
Like, you're in sync. And then you kind of could tell when you're both having feelings. Like, I don't know if that's just my experience.
Yeah.
But, like, I would assume
So like when you know type.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would, like, if you really are best friends and you really feel like from the other end that there's nothing there, then, like, I feel like that could be risking it. So, yeah.
I feel like, like, I would, like, I don't know. I felt like I like, thought about everything so much because I was, like, so afraid of, like, doing something. So I was like, if you have, like, a mutual friend that you trust as well to not, like, rat you out and be like, oh, by the way, you can ask, like, I think it's, like, good if you have, like, a trusted mutual friend that you can ask advice for, because sometimes you're a little bit pink glasses on, right? You see the situation just under your lens, so someone else, can kind of help. And also, like, I think for me it was, like, really be true to your feelings, right? Like, don't do it out of, like, selfish reasons in terms of, like, I feel lonely and this is the only other person around, so I guess, like, make sure that you really have that attraction for that person. And I think just be honest, and if it's, like, if you guys are, like, really good friends, like, hopefully the idea is that, like, even if it's not that you still have that support, right? You still remain with that friend at the end, either way, so. I
have a question. Well, like, for example, for me, like, obviously, like, rejection for anyone isn't fun. So a lot of times for me, in my situation, like, I won't tell someone I like them. I'm not talking in terms of, like, best friend, just, like, let's say a friend, that I've known for maybe a year or a couple months. So not that deep, but would you say getting rejected, from someone you don't know, like you're not best friends with, like, for example, I'd be scared to tell any, like, even, would you say it's bigger when you're best friends or when you don't know them that deeply, but you've known them for, like, a year or so, and you're like, what would you say is, like, the way,
worst?
Like, would you say it's more pressure when you're really close or less pressure compared to when you're not as close?
I think, like, it's more, I think it's, like, heavier on you when you're really close to a person, when it's the best friend, right? Because, like you said, there's all that other pressure, right? Like, the friends, the people, so you stress all of that out, but also there's like that reassurance that if you are best friends and you do know each other, you'll have that, like, respect, and you can talk it out. And I think if you have someone that you have an attraction for, or you have, like, a crush on, that you don't know as well, I think, I don't know, it's easy to say, but, like, I feel like if I could go back, I wouldn't over stress myself and just,
because you're not losing as much necessarily.
But I think if you're just honest and you, like, make it sure that it's not, like, a pressure thing, you're
like, just doing what you have to do.
Like, if you're, like, just, like, I kind of like, but, like, if you'd want to, like,
but then it's awkward after.
I know, but like,
the worst thing can say is
over
no.
that.
No, and then you just have to not be in your head about it.
But if you just make it as, like, look, if you want to hang out, like, sometime, like, I'd like to, but, there's no pressure.
Dating 101. Amanda and Elliot, us.
But,
And then leading to that, like, what advice would you give to someone who got rejected by their best friend and, like, doesn't want it to be weird between them and maybe wants to, like, obviously continue being friends? Like, what kind of advice would you give?
I actually know someone that it happened to, and I feel like they were super, like, mature about it. Like, she felt like she had to say it, just, like, because it was just something that was, like, like it was there. Like you had to let it out. It was just like for her own like I think emotional health. Like be like, okay, so I have to let it out. It didn't go the way like and she wasn't super hurt over it. But because I think they had such a good friendship and like he was so understanding of it, like they're still able to be. It's not become even closer because they were able to become more open with each other's like real emotions. And I know that's not going to be the case with everyone
because it's scary.
But like I feel like depending on your friendship, maybe being so open that it actually allows you, not romantically, but like in a different way, become even closer.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah, that's like
and
real.
they're even better friends than
exactly. And I feel like letting your feelings out, like it's liberation. You know, like you're almost stuck when
just
you
letting it like fester and just like
I'll never have that emotional maturity.
I
don't know when, y'all.
I think just like saying like keep doing the same things you used to. You know, like don't change it because you're like, oh well, now is it weird if I invite them? Well, no, if you did these things, keep doing. But also like. I think people like hold all these things in and they'll talk to their best friend like, oh, I just want to tell them that, and then you're like, oh, do it, like just be open, tell them. They're like, I can't. Like, no, fuck it, just tell them that stuff. Like, look, you know, okay, you don't want. Okay, it's like just be open. Like sometimes when you're like you feel like you're gonna blurt stuff out. Sometimes I feel like it's not the worst to just be really open about it. Okay, sorry, like I was just feeling that pressure, but I just needed to tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to, that's totally fine, but please, like I do want to like keep being friends because that's the important, you know, like just say it to someone, you know, and afterwards, like then you feel like you haven't held anything back. So whatever happened, at least you don't blame yourself in the fact that you know what, I should have been more open, I should have said that. And also
you
the other
feel like
person,
you're like not lying to them anymore, because maybe that's something that's also gonna change your friendship if you feel like you're hiding a part of yourself.
And when you start liking someone, I feel like you act a bit differently, like you're more conscious of like the way you act, so almost like you start to not act like yourself, and they might be like,
because you try to
exactly, and it kind of ruins the friendship, whereas if you let it out, like it's
and if you think about it, the more you tell that other person truly how you feel, like the whole, not like even like, oh, I really like, but like also like, okay, good, I just needed to tell you that because I felt and it was on me, like, you know, I just want, because if you're not as open, then all the blank areas, like they get to fill it themselves, and they get to fill it themselves with stuff that you don't feel or maybe aren't true. But since you weren't open,
things,
don't let other people assume things, you know, because then you can't control that. So just tell them really how you feel, and when it's all there, then you know, at least you have that.
And I feel like based on the reaction that you get from the other person, not saying like whether they say yes or no, that's totally fine because obviously that's their feelings. But I'm saying like if you could be mature about it, I feel like if they're really sour about it or they're like, what the heck, we can't be friends, maybe that lets you know maybe this person wasn't like not that maybe it was a lot of pressure too on them, like knowing like
it's very situational.
So true, not judging, but like true. It depends on the person because it could be like a lot to have those feelings onto you, and then maybe if you don't reciprocate them, and you're not sure,
the only thing you really have control over is like your feelings, right? So if you just tell them everything and you lay it all out, then it's all on their side of you know.
And would you give the same advice to someone who's been best friends with this person for like a long time, like 10 years plus? Because I feel like usually when people are best friends and they start developing romantic feelings, a lot of the time they're more scared if they've been best friends for so long. Yeah. Like, would you give the same advice just to like be open and just tell them?
I think so. Yeah.
I think like you can definitely like. Yeah, especially if you've been known each other for so long. Yeah. I think it's like very much anchored in, you know? Because maybe it's like feelings that, let's say if they've been friends for 10 years, right? Yeah. But like these feelings have only happened recently. Mm-hmm. Like your relationship with that person isn't based on liking them like, for like a year and we've known each other for a year. No, there's like 9 years of like deep anchored like friendship that wasn't, you know, attached to any romantic feelings. So again, it's just like if you tell them like the fact that you've been friends for so long, hopefully, you know, and if you hold it in, then you might like, you know, just, you know, in a weird way kind of like poison yourself, you know, just kind of like hold it in and be like, you know,
you're like no, I feel I'm gonna take that advice. I've never told a crush. Actually I have, and it went badly, so I'm scarred.
It's okay.
When I was young.
Oh, you were young.
Yeah, I was young, but I'm still scarred. And am I the drama?
Oh my god.
TikTok stuff. Sorry, did you want to add something?
No, I think it's...
Do you have any final thoughts
or
on the
do you
subject?
want to add anything? This is so
I
fun.
just hope everyone does well with their friendships.
Yeah.
I wish everyone the best. You know.
Nice.
They're
I
your
don't
role
want-
models.
No,
for
no,
them.
I don't want to be anyone's role model.
No,
They don't wanna be held
pressure.
Yeah, no,
responsible.
exactly.
This was so nice. I
Yeah.
really it was so interesting hearing you guys talking about it and like getting this perspective because I don't think I've ever really
true,
had
yeah.
like time to discuss this with anybody, and I don't know if
I don't think
have any
anyone's
friends-
really like asked us in depth. Like, I don't know.
This was I love
Yeah,
knowing
I think
these
people
things,
like hear the like bits and
Yeah.
stuff from
Yeah,
the start, but
exactly.
the whole thing, you know.
I find it so interesting to find out how people meet and like how their
Yeah.
Their
like,
meet
love
cute.
story.
Yeah.
Their meet cute. It's really interesting because like it varies from situation to situation.
Yes,
so it's
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
really fun to hear.
Most of the time, the reason I don't know all this stuff is because me and Elliot just talk about squids all the time.
Yeah, they're so weird together.
We watch like
me.
mukbangs that are like squids. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Anyways.
Oh my god.
I love that for you guys.
Good, but amazing. So I guess we're wrapping this up. It
Yeah.
was super fun to have them. Thank
Thank
you
you for
guys so
having
much.
us.
Thank you for
Thank you
coming.
guys.
I'm your
Yes.
number one fan. This is an honor to
Yeah.
be here.
Stop it.
We've been
The
waiting for
artists.
so long.
Y'all are the artists. You're
Exactly.
Oh my
famous.
god.
But we're gonna put their links down below if you want to go check
you.
out their art too.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
make
exactly.
sure you go check
Very
it out.
talented. Like, whoa, you want to be their
Like,
friend.
whoa.
Okay? Like, whoa. But of course, as usual, follow us on Instagram, Wild Thoughts Pod, TikTok, subscribe on YouTube, leave us comments, feedback, all that
whole
good,
list.
everything
Yes.
as usual. Did I miss anything? And this is going to be available obviously on all the platforms
Yeah.
as usual and YouTube. So if you guys want to watch it, we're pretty to look at. So I don't know why you do not want to watch it.
That side.
100%.
So,
Everyone is.
That's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah.
Did we want to add anything else? No.
No, I think we're good.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
and let us know if you like having guests on the
Yes.
podcast. Did you like this type of topic? You know, just leave us feedback.
And leave any advice you have. If you have any advice,
Yes.
if you were in similar situations, leave them in the comments.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. So see you guys at the next episode. Thanks
Bye.
again to Amanda and Elliot.